Hi everybody, Chris Munn here, and I want to talk to you today about voting. So as we all know, voting is very important, especially this year. But this year it's very different, right, because of COVID. So a lot of people have requested absentee ballots to vote by mail, and they haven't done it before. So today I wanted to walk you through the process of filling out your absentee ballot and sending it in so that it has the best chance of being counted. So first thing you have to do, of course, is get an absentee ballot. So how do you do that? Well, there's an online portal. You can go to the website, fill out the form, hit submit, and they will send you an absentee ballot. The other way to do it is you can print out a form off the website, fill it out, and mail it in. Or you can go to the Board of Elections yourself and request an absentee ballot in person. So those are three different ways. Most people have used the portal and they've received their ballot. I have also received my ballot. So, second step, open it up. Inside there should be three things. There should be your ballot and two envelopes, a smaller one and a larger one. So the ballot looks basically like the ballot that you would get if you go vote in person. You open it up, make your selections, make sure you turn it over. Okay, there's a proposition on the back. I suggest you vote yes on that proposition for independent redistricting. I'll go into that in another video. Once you're done with your vote, if you've voted in all the different races that you want to vote in, fold it back up. Now there are two envelopes. There's a ballot envelope and then there's the mailing envelope. So the ballot envelope is smaller. That is what you put the ballot into, hence the name ballot envelope, right? On the back of it, there's a sworn statement. It says that you're a citizen and who you are, and you sign your name, you date it, and if you're unable to sign your own name, you have a witness sign at the bottom. Just follow the instructions on the back, read through it, sign it, and seal that envelope with the ballot inside. The ballot must be inside this ballot envelope. If the ballot is not inside this envelope and it's not sealed properly, your vote will not count. So make sure it's sealed. Personally, I actually put a little piece of tape on that seal to make sure that while it's going through the mail, it doesn't, break open. Once you've sealed your ballot envelope, take that ballot envelope, put it in the larger envelope. All right? And that larger envelope has a checklist on the back. Read through the checklist, make sure you've done everything on that checklist. And then you can seal that envelope. All right? It's already addressed to the Board of Elections, but you have to put a stamp on it and put it in the mail. Or you can take that envelope and bring it to any voting site, an early voting site or an election day site. Now, if you're going to go to an early voting site or an election site on election day, you could just vote in person, right? So you should consider that. But if you're going to vote absentee, that's how you go about it. Now, should you vote absentee or should you vote in person? Well, if you're still deciding, I'll ask you this. Do you feel safe enough to go to the supermarket? Okay, so wearing a mask and wearing whatever protective gloves or whatever you feel you need to feel comfortable and safe. Do you feel comfortable enough to go to the supermarket? Because if you feel comfortable enough to go to the supermarket, you should be able to vote in person. Now, I personally would recommend voting in person versus voting absentee, and I'll tell you why. Absentee ballots can be challenged. After the election, anyone who hasn't voted in person, there are absentee ballots for anybody who hasn't voted in person. They take them, they open them up, and they look at the ballot envelope. Remember the ballot envelope? We signed it, we put a date on it. And they will look for things like, is it open, right? Has it been opened? Are there stains on it? Is there anything on it that might suggest, and to be honest, sometimes the lawyers, if it's a close race, they make stuff up. They look at the signature and they look at your old signature from 10 years ago, and look, if you or I looked at it, we know it's the same signature. But they'll say, oh, this is different. And then they'll take your vote and they'll set it aside. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to count. It just means they're setting it aside and they may go to court to try to claim that it's not your vote. If you're voted in person, that can't happen. So I would recommend, if you can, to vote in person. Now, what if you've already voted absentee? What if, you already knew how to do it, or you read the instructions and you sent in your absentee ballot? And because you were worried about COVID, you were worried that it could get worse. Absentee ballots have been out for about a week now, and a lot of people have sent them in already. So let's say we get closer to election day and, COVID hasn't surged back, God willing. Well, you can go vote in person if you now feel safe to vote in person. Now, what would happen is if you vote in person, after Election Day, they will find your absentee ballot, they will see that you voted in person, and they will destroy your absentee ballot. So you're able to go vote in person on Election Day or during early voting. Same thing, what it used to be like is if I was going to go on vacation for 2 weeks and I did an absentee ballot and then my vacation got canceled. In theory, I'm supposed to go vote in person because I'm around, I'm in the county, and those were the rules. And I should go vote in person because I'm there. I voted absentee because I thought I wouldn't be there. It was a good faith decision to vote absentee. But once, I know that I'm here, I can vote in person because circumstances have changed. So if you were afraid of COVID and COVID hasn't surged back by the end of the month and you feel like you want to vote, in person or either during early voting or on Election Day, you do have the right to do that. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. If you thought this video was informative or helpful, please share it with your friends, share it on Facebook, social media, and stay safe, wear a mask. Take care.